Hi there. Welcome to UCI 104 Data Manipulation and Analysis using Spreadsheets. The last time we met, we introduced this topic, and for the sake of a few members who are not around the time we are introducing this topic, I'd like to rush through the introductory bit, and then we shall be able to move forward to more advanced concepts of this topic. So basically, data manipulation and analysis using spreadsheets, we are going to major on an application by Microsoft we call Microsoft Excel. So basically, what is a spreadsheet? A spreadsheet is an application software that helps to manipulate and analyze numerical data. Numerical data, example could be like students' marks in a school scenario, or records of accounting, payments, and all that, budgeting. That data could be numerical. So it contains what we call electronic grid, which is made up of rows and columns. A user can be able to enter data, make calculations, and can also go ahead and represent the data in form of charts and graphs. One good thing about spreadsheets is that you can sort the data and you can also filter it with the in whatever way you may want to use it. So look at it like a tabular data, like what used to happen in the time past when these spreadsheets were not in place. Schools used to analyze data using a manual spreadsheet. They will draw columns in a piece of paper, columns like the name of the student, whatever marks they got in English, Swahili, mathematics, and then they put a totals column, and then they will also put a ranking column. So what they will do is that they will write the marks per student using a calculator or any other method. They will calculate and put the total marks. Thereafter, they will go through each total score and identify who is position one, who is in position two. You can imagine that kind of work would be very tedious. But with the coming of the spreadsheets, this one makes it work, make the work very easy because this one's an electronic spreadsheet. Everything is automated. You just need to input a formula and it calculates all the totals. Now, what are some of the functions of a spreadsheet software? Spreadsheet software allows the user to create simple lists and tables of alphabetic or numerical data, application of arithmetic, mathematical, or statistical functions to numerical data sets. You can also represent data graphically or using a chart. You can also establish relationship between sets of numerical data. Among the key application areas is like what we call budget, payrolls, grades calculations in schools. Mm, and maybe as a recap, Microsoft Excel, and also what we have Google Sheets is also an example of a spreadsheet. So the most common spreadsheets nowadays have Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. Google Sheets is owned by Google, while Microsoft Excel is owned by Microsoft Corporation. We also have others like Lotus and many, many others. So for the purpose of this course, we shall be measuring on Microsoft Excel. Um, Maybe these are some of the key terms you will encounter in this topic. We shall be using commonly what we call a row. We shall be looking at what we call a column. We shall be looking at what we call cells. We shall be looking at cell referencing, active cell, formula bar, name box, worksheets, workbook, and all that. Those are some of the key things. Now, I want you to take time and look at this window. Maybe let me enlarge it so that you're able to see it. Um, okay, good. Now, if you look at this is a snapshot of Excel window. You can see how it looks like. You can see that the cells You can see the columns are labeled using letters A, B, C, D, like that. So when it reaches Z, we start AA, AB, AC, AD, AE. It goes like that. So it can accommodate very many columns of data. You can also see that the rows are labeled using numbers, number 1, 2, 3, up to almost infinity, very many numbers. So it can also accommodate data that is very many rows. Now you can see what is written here as an active cell. An active cell is where you can be able to enter data. In a cell that is active, anytime you type data from the keyboard or type anything, either text or numbers, it will appear in an active cell. Now I want you to be keen on how we reference a cell. First of all, a cell is an intersection point between a column and a row. Now, in our case here, active cell, here, the column is column A, the row is column 1. So we'll reference the cell or name that cell as A1. Always we begin from the column and then we go to the row. So in this case, it will be A1. So you can also have A1, you can have A2, you can have A3, you can have A4. Now, the tabs that you can see in this Microsoft Excel are almost like the ones we have in Microsoft Word in our previous course of word processing and design of presentations. Home tab, we will find some of the commands, some of the buttons, just like the Word one. Can see the B for bold, I for italic, underline. You can also see the font type, font size, and many of those things. Things like sorting, things like alignment, center alignment, left alignment, right alignment. These are some of the common things you can use to edit data. Now, without further much ado, I would like to go straight to the practical aspect. I would like to go to practical aspect. Now, let's assume that you are now here. This is your screen. Now you want to launch Microsoft Excel. You want to launch Microsoft Excel. Now, before we begin launching, this is what we are going to look at this in our session today. We shall be looking at the basic introduction to spreadsheets. I think that's what we have gone through a while ago. We are now to go to what we call launching of Microsoft Excel. How to launch it, how to start it from scratch. Now, this is where you are in a desktop. There are various methods of launching Microsoft Excel. The easiest way of launching, I want you to see. Just right click anywhere on the screen. Right click. In my case, that's what I get. You will get the menus, view, sort, whatever. I'm interested in this third last, which is called new. So under new, there is also some other menus ahead. So you go to that and then come down. You will see Microsoft Excel worksheet. So you click on that and then you will see what will come on the screen. Whatever it is in blue, it means that you can now rename it. So let's now give it a name like spreadsheet. Let me give it spreadsheet 1. Then when you click enter on your keyboard, there you have it. You have a spreadsheet. You have created a spreadsheet application. Before we open inside to see how to whatever is inside, let me show you a second method of creating a spreadsheet. The second method of creating a spreadsheet, depending with your Windows or the Microsoft Windows, go to the search. Go to the search, like mine here is there. Go to the search button and just type Excel. Just type Excel. Type Excel. We shall have a couple of applications that will pop up. I'm interested in this first one, Excel 2013 desktop app. So you click on that. Now, when you click on that, it will load. It will load. You can see what this one. So it will give you various options. We have blank workbook. We have tips, whatever, formula tutorial. I'm interested in this first one, blank workbook. So click on that. Then when you click on blank workbook, it will now show you that window for Excel 2013. Just for your knowledge, we have very many versions of Excel. We have Excel 2007, we have Excel 2010, Microsoft Excel 2010, we have Microsoft Excel 2013, we have Microsoft Excel 2016, I think, and also we have the latest one. And we can also get one directly from the Office 365 online. Now, this is now what comes. Before we even type anything here, I want us to learn how to save this document. Look at the tabs we have. We have the File tab. When you click the File tab, you will see various options like Open, Save, Save As, Print, Share, and all that. So I'm interested in the Save As button command so that we can be able to save our work as we proceed. So you can just click on Save As. Then when it comes here, you'll see Save As. You choose where you want to save. You may want to save it in OneDrive. You may want to save it in a computer. You may also want to save it in another place. So I'm interested in the computer. Then down here you can see browse. So browse to the location where you want to save it. So click browse and then it will take you to where to select this location. So I'm interested in the file name. As usual, let's name it spreadsheet. Let me give it a name, spreadsheet 2. And then we go to, I want to save it in the desktop. So choose desktop on the right side. And then you go ahead and click save. Now, when you click save, you may as well close this application. And then when you go to your screen, you will see that you have spreadsheet 2. This is the one that we had created earlier. Those are the two methods that we use to create a blank workbook or a spreadsheet so that you can be able to work with. I don't know which one seems easier for you, but for me, I'm comfortable with both. But the easiest, of course, is to right click on the screen, choose new, and then go to Microsoft Excel and then give it a name. That is sort of straightforward. Now, let me open one of them. Let me open one of them, like spreadsheet 1 here. Now, this is a file you had saved. You just double click that. When you double click, it will launch and then it will give that application. Now, look at, I'm interested in something. If you look at the home tab, you will see various things that you are familiar with. I'm not going into the details, but we shall be able to look at each later. We have others like insert, if you want to insert anything. I'm interested in insert anything like maybe charts and all that. That's where you will go. Maybe page layout, you want to design your page before printing. Either you want to make it to be landscape or portrait, you want to change the size, you want to change the margins. You want to ensure that the document you're printing maybe fits within a page like A4, either in landscape or portrait. It's where you do your settings. Then we also have formulas. This is where we have various kinds of formulas and functions you can use in Excel. For example, we have the financial formulas. Financial formulas, these ones you can be able to use those people who are doing financials, accounting, and all that. We have their specific functions they use. We have logical functions, the and, the false, the if, and all that. We have quite a number of other mathematical functions, trigonometric. You want to get the cosine, you want to get the sine, you want to get all that, you can be able to get. Actually, Excel or Microsoft Excel is one powerful engine. It can do almost any mathematical and any statistical application you can imagine of. Now, let's go back to our home tab because that's where now. Just a reminder, when I click on cell, you'll see this cell is highlighted. It has a green border. It means that is an active cell. Now, when I type anything on my keyboard, you can see it goes there. It won't go in any other cell. If I change my active cell, if I click here, it means my active cell has shifted. So when I type something there, you can see it goes to that cell. Now, you can as well delete. If you want to delete a cell, let's say you want to delete this text here, you just click on it and then hit your delete button on the keyboard. Hit delete button on the keyboard, it goes. When I want to delete this one, you can hit delete button on your keyboard and then it deletes that. The other thing I want us to look at is what is now a column. Let's say this is a column. This column is A, this column is B. You can